Hello everybody, Stark here, and earlier this week, on Monday actually, I was super lucky and I found the new Marvel minifigure series early at Kohl's, which is super awesome. I love this series. It gave us figures I didn't think we'd ever get, like Agatha and Beast. Purple Brick Customs left this comment saying I should compare these official figures to the custom versions I've made over the last couple years, which I thought was a great idea. Thanks for that suggestion. I will be looking at all 12 figures, I just couldn't fit them all in this frame. Also, I'm going to mention up top that all the figures in the series came with a black jumper and a clear action pose piece, but I'm not going to show them when comparing the figures because I'm boring and I like it when the figures are standing up straight. But anyway, let's get started. First up is Agatha Harkness. Right off the bat, let's talk about that hair. I actually would have used the same piece as Lego, but I didn't have it at the time. I believe it was only on Dana from Ghostbusters back then, who I don't have. I really like Lego's head. The winking face is perfect. The other face is pretty good too. I do wish they gave her a head with glowing eyes though. They would have been purple though, not red like my custom. The capes are pretty much identical, but Lego's only has one hole and it's shaped a little different at the top so the hair doesn't mush it all up, which is good. Of course, the torso printing is much better on Lego's version. I went with legs on my custom because I really liked Lily Potter's leg printing for Agatha, but I will admit the dress piece works much better on the official figure. I gave her Senior Scratchy as an accessory. I wish Lego would have done that too. I think it would have been a nice touch, but I'm fine with the Power Blasts as well. And then both figures have the Darkhold. I'm just so happy to finally have the Darkhold in Lego form, and the tile print on the inside is great. Next up is Hawkeye. I've never been a fan of the head-hair combos Lego has used on Hawkeye in the past. The reddish-brown spiky hair and Han Solo head still haunt me to this day. So that's why I came up with this combo, which I've been using since my videos for the Hawkeye show. And I really like it, but the hair and head on Lego's version are absolutely perfect. And if I ever made a Hawkeye figure in the future, I will be using those pieces. There's also an alternate face that isn't bandaged and scratched up. The torsos look pretty similar, which makes sense because I used a Hawkeye torso. Both figures also have arm printing. Lego didn't give them any leg printing though, which is kinda sad. Both figures have a quiver and a bow, except Lego did make a new bow mold piece, which is nice. The other accessory with my figure is a slice of pizza, but Lego went with the owl, which I think is much better. I actually wish I would have thought of that. Here is Kate Bishop. The hairpiece Lego used is perfect, blows the hairpiece I used out of the water. The head is also much better with the bandage and scratches. Like Hawkeye, she also has a normal alternate face. I was pretty happy with my torso choice, but the Lego one looks fantastic. I will say though, I think Lego should have made her right arm dark red and her hands dark purple. I think that would have been a little more accurate. Lego's leg printing also looks great. I nailed 3 of the accessories, which is cool: the quiver, the bow, and Lucky the pizza dog. The pizza box is a great addition that I didn't include. Next up is Echo. These figures are very different because mine is based on her appearance in Hawkeye and Lego's is based on her appearance in her show. Also, when I made this figure for the first time, Lego hadn't introduced the medium tan skin tone yet, which they used here. That's why I used Nougat instead. That new hairpiece is awesome, and she also has an alternate face. I'm not sure what the accessory is that Lego included, but I can't wait to find out when the Echo show comes out. Here is Moon Knight. To be honest, he was always a struggle to make and I was never really happy with the way this figure turned out. I really like the new hood piece Lego made for him. It would have been kind of lame if they used the standard hood piece. The head printing is also much better. He has both eyes now, so that's good. Plus Lego's alternate face is such a great inclusion. Comparing the torso and legs on both figures, I do think it's funny that the colors are swapped. Mine is mostly light bluish gray with white feet and Lego's is mostly white with light bluish gray feet. The capes are exactly the same, but of course they are, so that was easy. And then Lego and I both chose the same items for accessories, so that's cool. Next up is Mr. Knight. Overall, these figures look pretty similar. Of course, the printing on Lego's version is just way more accurate. Also, I gave mine rolled up sleeves, which Lego didn't do, but that's totally fine in my opinion. I also gave him his weapons, but in white. Lego used flat silver. The other accessory I gave him was an alternate head and hairpiece, while Lego gave him Gus the fish, which I also like. I would have been fine with the head or the fish. We are halfway through these figures, so I thought it would be a good time to take a break and tell you I'm releasing a new video on September 2nd showing you guys a new custom Marvel CMF series that I've been working on. I think it's going to turn out pretty cool, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. Here is She-Hulk. The hair is exactly the same on both figures, which is pretty cool. I made my She-Hulk bright green to match the recent minifigure scale Hulks. Lego went with lime like the original She-Hulk figure, which is fine, but I actually might have preferred bright green. Lego's figure also has a nice alternate face print. My torso is very plain compared to Lego's. Also, my figure doesn't have short sleeves because arm pieces with white on top and bright green on bottom don't exist. Lego's legs are much better, but I do wish they used the Avatar legs to make her taller. That's why I put those plates under the feet of my figure. They make her taller and they represent her shoes. Lego's accessories are much better as well. I love those prints very much. Next up is Werewolf by Night. The hair pieces are kinda similar, they both have the ears sticking out, but that new mold is really cool. Of course Lego's head is much better. The alternate face is really interesting though. He's smiling, which feels like a very Lego thing to do. It's not even like a confident smile, like look at all these guys I just slashed through. It's like a dopey smile, so it's kinda weird. Kinda like Moon Knight, the colors are swapped on the torso. Both figures have arm printing, but Lego's arms and hands are dark tan, which looks nice. My figure doesn't have pants, which is a little embarrassing for him. That's because I made this figure before the special came out, so we didn't have a great look at the werewolf yet, and I didn't realize he was wearing pants. For accessories, I gave him claws, but Lego gave him the bloodstone, which is much cooler. At one point, I also made a version of Werewolf by Night with only grayscale pieces, and I kinda wish Lego did that too. That would have been pretty cool. Here is Wolverine. Now these figures are pretty night and day. All three X-Men ones are really. I'm happy Lego finally gave us his mask in yellow because I had to use a bright light orange mask which doesn't really match the rest of his outfit. I used a Batman head on my figure because I like that expression a lot. Lego's face printing has some stubble on it, which is nice though. He also has an alternate face print and hair. They should have just used the normal Wolverine hair though, which is what I used when I made Casual Logan from the series. The torso, arms, and legs are just so much better on Lego's version. Of course, both figures have their claws, but Lego also gave him a sentinel head, which is awesome. Next up is Storm. Lego gave her a mohawk because their figure is based on X-Men 97, while mine was just based on the original series. The heads are very similar because I just used a Storm head. I didn't give my Storm any shoulder armor, but Lego did, which is nice. I also used a regular white cape, but Lego remade the original Storm cape in white, which is awesome. I really struggled to find a good torso for her at the time, so I really like the one Lego gave us. Of course, the legs are much better now too. Also, I didn't give her any accessories, pretty boring. Here is Beast. I've made Beast like 3 or 4 times on the channel and I always struggled with him. Lego's new molded hair is amazing. They could have just used the Wolverine hair in blue, but they didn't, so props to Lego on that. I love the new face print as well. One side has the glasses, which I absolutely love. I always wanted to give my Beast figures glasses, but there wasn't a blue head with glasses until now. Lego's torso also looks great with the fuzzy printing that's missing from mine, as well as the X on the belt. Lego also went above and beyond on the leg printing, especially with the little claws on the feet. The legs on my figure look very plain in comparison. Like my Storm, I didn't give Beast any accessories either, but honestly, I probably would have given him a book. I think this might be my favorite figure in the series, which you can probably tell by the way I've been gushing about it. And finally is Kang. Just kidding, of course. Despite what some people might say, Kang was never planned for this series. It was always going to be Goliath. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to compare this figure to because I've never made a custom Goliath, but this figure is very cool. The printing is great all around, and Ant-Man was a nice inclusion. If you take off the helmet, he has 2 face prints, and he comes with a hairpiece. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for videos I should make in the future, please let me know down below and I'll give you a shout out if I use your idea. You may come back on Tuesday for another viewer request video. See you then.